Chris Orban.
Thank you very much. I'll try to be brief. I'm a professor at Ohio State Marion, and I talked about computer science education earlier to the Workforce and Higher Ed Committee, so I'm happy to be back here again. I have a lot of expertise on that subject, working with Ohio Department of Education, which I'm going to talk about. If you're looking at my written testimony, you know that I strongly support the computer science education provisions of House Bill 33, including the amendment SC 1252X1, which includes a lot of the funding so we can do common sense things like allow teachers to train to become computer science teachers at no cost. So I'm not here to tell you more about that. My colleagues have done a great job of that. But I do want to tell you about something that is not in the House Bill 33. It's not in the amendment. But it is in the 2022 State Plan for Computer Science. Before I do that, I want to talk about goals. So the goal of computer science education in Ohio, especially with all these companies coming here, is to allow every student to have the opportunity to join that tech economy, to try to get to that point. And so let me talk about how close we are to that or not in Ohio. So today in Ohio, for every 100 high school students, less than 4 of them took computer science in the last year. And that number is driven not because the students aren't ready for that. I mean, we've heard a lot about that for primary education today, but it has more to do with the number of computer science teachers. It gets worse than that. The number of high schools offering computer science recently dropped from 50% to 48%. I believe that's public high schools. And so the needle is not even necessarily moving in the right direction. The net number of computer science teachers in our schools is not even necessarily increasing. And I'm here to tell you today that there is a cost-effective strategy to bring computer science skills more widely across Ohio, and that relies on high school mathematics teachers. And that's what I'm going to tell you about that. Ohio is already a leader in doing this, as I'll discuss. If 1 in every 10 high school math teachers could be trained to teach a math course that integrates some computer science knowledge, not all of it computer science, but some, if 1 in 10, then the number of students in Ohio significantly engaging in computer science skills would double. And that number is based on the reality that there's only about 1,000 computer science teachers, high school computer science teachers in Ohio, whereas there's something like 10,000 high school math teachers. And so if you can leverage that, you can really do a lot of good. The State Plan for Computer Science basically proposes that we increase the number of computer science teachers by like a factor of 7. Which is just not realistic. And so we need to rely on our math teachers to bring these skills to other parts of the state. So I'm part of an effort. I don't represent this effort. I'm a private citizen today, but I'm part of an effort to try to do that. So there's an effort called Strengthening Ohio's High School Math Pathways, which is led by Ohio Department of Education in partnership with the Education Service Centers, which again I don't represent. But I've been part of that effort, which began in 2020. The ideas for it go back to the Kasich administration, that sort of thing. And there's 2 courses that connect computer science and high school mathematics. These are discrete math and data science. And these are courses that are taught by mathematics teachers, even who do not have the credentials to teach a full computer science class. And that's what makes it so special. This fall, almost every district that's represented here is going to have a classroom in there at a local high school that's either teaching discrete math or data science, which is really exciting. At the Workforce and Higher Ed meeting, there was a group, Data Science for Everyone, that flew in from Chicago to say that Ohio is a leader in data science. And I know a lot of you have to deal with data from your districts, data from your businesses, and so if you've ever felt like you needed more skills or wish you'd had more education around that in schools, then I feel like you already get it in terms of the importance of data science in our schools. The other course, Discrete Math, is the one that I helped to design, and it talks about things like there's a unit on cryptography, which is how information is transferred securely over the internet without being hacked. And again, these are mathematics courses taught by mathematics teachers. And one thing I didn't emphasize when I was in front of the Workforce and Higher Ed Committee is that I think these courses not only are important in and of themselves, they're also important recruitment tools for finding those 6,000 or something new computer science teachers, because my personal experience interacting with these teachers is that many of them would not have considered teaching computer science before having this experience. And so I think along the lines you're going to see that this turns out to be an important recruiting tool. The problem, though, is that this initiative has been supported by the ESSER funds, which someone mentioned. So that was COVID relief dollars, and those are expiring. And so even if the $12 million per year is approved from this amendment, it does not include discrete math and data science, which I think is a shame, which I don't think puts us on as aggressive of a path that we could be to bringing computer science to the students in Ohio. And so that's basically the message that I have. If you could also put into writing that the Computer Science Council could include a math educator so that these courses can be part of those discussions, that would be great too. But that's the main message that I have today.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Any questions for the witness? The shortage of teachers is a result of we're not teaching in our universities, in our education university. Are they not teaching computer science? I mean, what's causing the shortage, you think?
Right. I mean, so teachers of computer science, I mean, I've known teachers who have left the teaching field so they can go into computer science jobs. And so it's very hard to find people who are willing to turn down an $80,000, $90,000 computer science job and to go into the teaching profession to teach computer science. And there's things in the bill that trying to attract people who want to leave industry to come teach computer science, and there are some people that do that. I know some people who have done that. But I think the bulk of the people that are 10 years from now who are going to be our computer science teachers are today in a mathematics classroom right now. And I think that's the reality, and I think that's what these programs are going to address.
Thank you. Would you support the idea that someone who's in the private sector and wants to part-time go and teach, that would be? So there's a program Is that a solution to a problem? So there's a program called Microsoft Teals, and I know the director. She lives in Cincinnati, and that's what she does. Is she works with people, not necessarily who work for Microsoft, but they go into the schools and they help with computer science classes. That's a great model. I wish them the best, but that's not going to solve everything. We need to invest in the teachers that we have, and that's what this is doing. Great. Senator Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Are you proposing also to increase the salary of the math teachers that will be teaching these computer science courses?
I'm not in charge of the project. If I was, I would do that. I wish I was.
Senator Serino.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for your testimony. And you spent a lot of time with us in the Higher Ed Committee on the same subject. One question I did not get a chance to ask you last time was, why isn't there more of a natural migration of math teachers wanting to get schooled in and properly trained in computer science? I mean, calculus and statistics and algebra hasn't really changed much over the years. The methods of teaching it certainly have. But I would think that there would be more of a natural migration for math teachers to want to become knowledgeable in and to expand their horizons, if you will, into teaching computer science.
Yeah, I think there already is a migration. I mean, I can think of individual names of people who were teaching math who went through like Project Lead the Way, which the state has funded to teach computer science courses. That's already a thing, and this makes that more of a thing. I think this encourages even more people to to take that leap, to invest the time to teach these courses.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Seeing no further questions, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.